everything works.
Ben Malphite. So it's Ezreal they went with there, and they're talking about the Nunu maybe as well, but I guess they're expecting the Shen to come straight out from Hotshot GG there.
I think they're also expecting potentially to have this Orianna be picked up or a Malphite, and then they were saying that Doublelift and Locodoka are going to be favoring that Nunu in the bottom lane, potentially having that sniped away. You know, we could potentially have Snoopé playing that in the jungle as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be a support in the bottom lane, and they could still snatch up that Sona afterwards, but it's all really going to kind of revolve around what NA decides to pick up for that second pick. Assuming Hotshot's going to take that Shen, it seems to be his staple go-to top laner now that he's back in that lane, and now it's all up to Chouster. Is he going to take his jungle? Are they going to take... Actually, now they're hovering over the Sona.
They've locked it.
Don't really know if EU considered that fact.
They took that away from J-Ree, so that's something J-Ree's been playing pretty strong throughout. So Locodoka taking Sona away. That is, of course, going to be the blue lane for CLG.eu, and J-Ree, like, look at J-Ree in the background. He's like, that's not fair. But we've seen him, you know, we've seen him playing Lulu, I think, a few times as well.
Lulu, I believe he said that maybe he's played a couple games to support Zyra as well.
Yes,
that's what I've
yes,
overheard.
it was Jack that was talking about that. Yeah, I mean, it's a potential. And, you know, during the Tales of the Lane tournament last weekend, there was the lane of Ezreal and Zyra was just, you know, we weren't sure how it was stoppable, how teams could deal with it. Something, Kersey, you were dealing with, running a few times. Moscow 5 ran it a few times as well. Blitzcrank, wow, okay. Well, I don't know whether, I don't know J-Ree that well. Can he land them hooks? We've seen a few Blitzcranks this tournament. Patoy was running it earlier, and he was not landing those hooks that successfully. I believe we've seen Elements also running it. We've seen Elements actually run Fiddlesticks off the stream as well, and Maokai locked in this time. So Snoopé returning to what he knows in the jungle. Now let's maybe get a listen in on what CLG.na are saying about this.
Malfoy, Wombo.
Malfoy right now. Malfoy right now. We're gonna save our AD for last pick. If he has Karthus, I want Graves.
If he has Karthus, we should go Sever.
Yeah, Sever.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Actually, Sever owns our team comp too. Yeah.
Holy, Sever's like best pick.
So Siva's the best pick, they reckon. So let's see whether Karthus does get picked up here. That's what they're expecting. And honestly, you know, we talked about it at the start. Froggen is very much a renowned Karthus play. It's something he played, pretty much fell back on after he couldn't get Anivia. You know, Anivia was locked in throughout. I think DreamHack, he played it throughout the entire open bracket. I think he died twice throughout the entire open tournament at DreamHack, if I remember correctly. It's
kind of counterintuitive if you're playing Karthus, too. Normally you want to die to deal more damage.
Yeah, but he just didn't die.
If you're not going to die and you're still going to put that damage out, it doesn't really matter. And, of course, everybody knows that Froggen going to have that 400-plus CS at 30-something minutes into the game. Ooh, and now we can see Wicked picking up one of his favorite Ribbon characters, something we haven't seen. Well, we saw at Season 2 finals, but before that, we haven't seen it for a very long time.
And let's see. Oh, it could be Ari. Ari in the mid lane. So it's not going to be the Karthus they were expecting. So those charms going to come out. Yes, he will be locked in. So Riven and Ari. And let's maybe hear what CLG responds to this one. They know it's going to be the AD carry as the last pick, but what are they expecting? We're not going to get it.
Well, we did know that they wanted to have that Sivir or Graves pick up regardless. Now that the Karthus is no longer on the table, probably just defaulting to that Graves Sona lane. There's going to be a lot of poke potential there. They're going to have the buckshot. They're going to have the Sona putting out those Qs for poke damage as well. However, on the opposite side, CLG.eu, this is the patch where Deathfire Grasp is still ridiculously strong. Having Ari being able to run in and assassinate. Actually, Monte Cristo and myself are watching the Enter the Dragon tournament going over on in Asia, and there was a matchup between KT Rolster going against LGIM, even post-nerfs on Deathfire Grasp. Ari was 10-0, rushed to Deathfire Grasp, run around the map. We've seen what Evelyn can do with it. Ari even more mobile from that mid lane than Evelyn. And
it's something we saw the Korean teams as well, running Ari versus Orianna. Whether it's a counter or not is another matter, I guess. Froggen versus Big Fat LP, we are going to see. Ladies and gentlemen, it's CLG.eu versus CLG.na. 1-0 currently to the North American side. Something a lot of you guys probably weren't expecting. I wasn't expecting. There's the Snoopies.
That's what we were expecting.
That's what you were expecting. The whole crowd are quivering. The question is CLG.na quivering? It's MLG Dallas. We'll be back after this quick break. there. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, game 2 underway. It is the game just before lower bracket finals. I don't know what you call that. Maybe round 3, quarterfinals. I don't know. We're going to give it a name, whatever way. It is going to be Azubu Blaze versus the winner of this game. They are awaiting themselves in the lower bracket finals, of course. Matt Noon and co. with Najin Sword are in the final. And CLG.eu coming out with another slightly unusual lineup. This time it's a little bit more expected, but I don't remember the last time I saw a Blitzcrank played by CLG.eu, if ever.
I can't really recall it myself, but they are going for a little bit more of an aggressive play.
Stood on a ward.
Oh, they are on a ward, though, so NA knows exactly what's up with this one. NA still has the strong kind of level 1 comp they had in the previous matchup. Of course, Hotshot GG on Shen as well as Chowster potentially going to be able to pick up that seismic shard at level 1. Actually hasn't acquired a skill himself yet. On the opposite side, though, CLG.eu has a fairly strong level 1 fight as well. Wicked, I'm taking a look at him, waiting to see if he gets that key burst at level 1 to get the AoE stun down at first. Blitzcrank, of course, basically the god of invades at level 1, and Froggen has that charm. So they have a bit stronger level 1 fight than NA did last game, but Wicked already on that recall. NA saw them with the ward, they know what's up, and this could be a level 1 fight.
Yeah, there you go, they're coming round. Is J. Ree going to go for any hooks? Yellow Pete might get caught out. Yellow Pete has been caught out. Yellow Pete was just dropped where he stood, and Chowster picks up the first blood. Can they chase down Froggen? The taunt comes in from Hotshot GG. Full max strength. The shards also landed. That's going to slow him. There's actually a couple of flashes there on towards Froggen. Froggen is in all sorts of trouble. He's heading towards the turret. He is going down. There's no way around this one. Froggen's a dead man. Can he pick up a kill? No, he can't. And big for LP. So 2 kills on the early invade, all to do with that ward.
And that was basically hero ward right there in the brush, plotting out what EU was trying to do. Froggen unfortunately gives a kill to his lane counterpart. Yellow P gives a kill over to the enemy jungler as well as first blood. Interestingly enough, going in on the invade, Yellow Pete went for that Mystic Shot to get the damage output at level 1. Did not save it to see if NA was going to be coming in. Great delayed tactics from CLG NA side, waiting because they saw where EU was, waiting to go until those buffs spawned, until they knew they started, letting CLG.eu pick their level 1 spells, and then just decimating them with the superior crowd control.
Very clever play. So, lanes are returning. Let's have a look through them. To start with, it's going to be the bottom lane. It's going to be J. Ree with Blitzcrank versus Yellow Pete. And how is that one going to lay up against a Graves, which honestly, Doublelift has highlight reel of him playing Graves.
Basically, Doublelift has a highlight reel of any AD carry. That's one thing. But as you talked about, it's kind of the wild card. We're very unfamiliar with Jerry's style of Blitzcrank. Can he land those potential hooks? If he can, especially on Sona, you know, it's not the Shadow Isles pass where Sona basically has less minion than anything in the game. Maybe the same like HP as a ward or something. But Sona's still going to go down very quickly to the combined efforts of Ezreal with his Mystic Shot attack damage bonus, as well as the potential knock-up combination coming out from Jerry's Blitzcrank.
Oh, they're diving on the bottom lane. Loco Doka's going to get caught out. Loco Doka will go down. It's Snoopy that picks up the kill there. Absolutely destroyed in bottom lane. So Snoopy with the early ganks out. Meanwhile, the top lane actually is being pretty much pushed heavily by Wicked versus Hotshot GG in that top lane. How is he going to farm that one out? The top lane, a Riven versus a Shen.
I mean, Riven's going to be able to push Shen around at the early stages. Once again, this is going to be just like last time, where Hotshot wasn't really able to establish a lot of presence on the map until he got tanky. He went for that Heart of Gold, the GP10, to try to tick away and get himself to a point where he was strong enough to contend with the game, and eventually they wound up working out for them. However, Wicked, when he gets that early damage down, he's going to be able to seal the deal in a way Froggen couldn't on Corki by activating Riven's ultimate, taking away all that extra damage from the missing HP Shen's going to have from trades like this, and Hotshot's going to be in a little bit of a sticky situation.
And let's talk about finally that mid lane, the Ahri versus Orianna. It's a lane, but I don't know. I mean, it worked out well. I think it was Azubu Frost that played it maybe before in Season 2. But honestly, I don't think it's so much a counter lane, it's just the skill of the champions, the skill of the players. It's
pretty much how much Froggen's be able to shove the lane against Big Fat LP's Orianna, and if Froggen's going to be able to move around from that mid lane. We saw him in the last game playing Corki. He was in every lane. He was all over the place on the map. So if he could do the same kind of thing with Ahri, it's going to go a little bit more in his favor. However, gave up an early kill to Big Fat LP on Orianna. Actually went back, picked up a no magic mantle, so he got a little resistance. But looks like top lane, they're going to try to deal with this Wicked.
Yes, shards come in from Chowster on towards Wicked. Wicked just walking away from this one with the Hellport running. Flashes just at the last moment when Hotshot goes for the maxing thought and then turns it around. Actually gets aggressive, tries to get a little bit more damage onto Chowster. Not going to happen, has to back away.
I think it was actually just Wicked having a lot of fun with the buttons there. It's just like, I haven't played Riven for a while.
I can press Q lots.
I can press Q, I can dash backwards, I can still be safe because they have no more cooldown. So.
Yeah, so he's just going to walk away from this one. So is J-Ree going to start landing those hooks? That's the question. They potentially could go for double lift here, but honestly, I think he might wait for Snoopy. Snoopy's going to come back down to the bottom lane. He's sneaking in as Maokai in towards the bottom. They're not going to be on a Ninja's way, and he's going to have to wait at the turret for now. Yellow Pete is caught putting the damage down, but you can see double lift is actually backing away. He's going to get the hook. Double lift does manage to land it. No, just missed out. How did he miss that hook? He was stood still recalling.
I don't know. You can kind of ask the same thing of Chowster last game with a couple of those unstoppable forces, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, I mean, J-Ree not being able to land the hook there. Stupe, like you said, was trying to sneak around, maybe wasting a little bit of the time out of his jungle. But regardless of the fact, double lift went back. Now Yellow Pete's got a little bit of time to free farm the lane. Actually, he decided to go back as well, so, you know, completely wrong on that one. Going back, he's got double Doran's Blaze compared to Graves' only single Doran's Blade, but Berserker Greaves.
So Wicked has returned to that top lane. He's got himself a Vampiric Scepter along with that Doran's Blade. So going to start winning out that trade with Hotshot for a little while. Hotshot's going to have to go back and try and counter this one. We are seeing Maokai possibly coming around in the mid lane at the moment. There's pressure on towards Froggen. He's just lingering in those bushes. He can see Chowster is there. Is he going to try and steal away those wraiths that are not there? So there's nothing really to steal away. So he does immediately back off. J-Ree getting towards that bush. This time he could go for double lift. He does land the hook on towards double lift. Gets the power fist down. Have they got the damage to turn it around? And Loco Doco immediately goes aggressive. Put the exhaust down on Yellow Pete, but double lift had already escaped the damage.
Yeah, so that was pretty much a clutch exhaust there. They weren't able to really chase after. Arcane Shift was available. Yellow Pete could have gotten aggressive. He did burn the Ignite as well, so there was potential to chase down double up. And
goes top.
Ooh, top lane we actually have once again a lot of members of CLG.EU now making their way up towards Hotshot. This could potentially be part of their plan. Ari coming in from mid lane. They have Maokai in order to get the Twisted Advance under tree. There it goes.
There they go. They're diving on towards Hotshot. He hasn't been back to buy, remember, so he's only got a pair of boots at the moment. Froggen surely can catch him out. They've already put damage on him. He's just going to walk into the turret. The damage that he's using is Stand United. He gets interrupted by Snoopy. Is it going to be enough? It will be. Snoopy manages to catch him out there. Tried to ulti out of it. Clever play, but it backfired. Snoopy was quick on that one.
That was actually kind of clutch from CLG.EU stopping that.
Chowster the bottom.
Yeah, as I said, they were setting up on the bottom lane. Ezreal actually got aggressive on Graves. Oh, he's only level 5. He's not really going to be able to do much. Seismic Shard goes down, though. There's the shift forward.
He pulled in. Chowster manages to get hit by the tower. Tries to turn it on towards Loco Doco. Double Lift quickly responds towards Yellow Pete, and he backs away from that one.
Yeah, as I was talking about, if Hotshot got that Stand United off, that would have been a 4v2 gang, because he was teleporting to Graves and bottom lane. Yellow Pete Arcane shifted forward, got a little bit of trade damage on him, and luckily enough, you know, they were able to shut down Hotshot in the top lane, and it really turned that bottom gank around as well.
Snoopy coming in towards the mid lane. Big Fat LP needs to be careful and immediately reacts to the damage. In fact, he was just going to the blue. He didn't react to it. He was just going across to that blue lane. So lanes starting to stack out a little bit here. And honestly, that farm in the top lane is pretty huge right now. 65 to 38. Wicked really out farming Hotshot.
Yeah, and this happened last game as well. Hotshot was just getting outclassed by his lane counterpart, regardless of who it was in that game. He was getting outclassed and farmed by a lot of the members of CLG.EU. But early on, he has that Doran shield trying to sustain himself, trying to get some sort of immediate advantage so he could just last hit and get himself to that Heart of Gold, get himself to the Ionic Spark, and then eventually farm himself back in. EU, though, they've recognized this. They don't want him doing this. Wicked, with that aggressive Riven pickup, being able to stop that Stand United for him to get away and gank around the map, being able to pressure that lane and pushing against the tower. And Shen, you know, he doesn't have a lot of wave clearing potential until he gets those items to do so.
So we're going to see Snoopy go back and buy a Heart of Gold. Are they going to keep stacking? Yes, they will. So both junglers doing the same thing right now. They are stacking out those GP10 items. See how it compares across the board. The two AD carriers of Double Lift and Yellow Pete very much even in farm. They've not really had too much aggression down this bottom lane, despite the fact J-Ree is effectively in a kill lane with that Blitzcrank. Tries to get a hook. Wow, he just hooked a minion. That was absolutely nowhere close to hooking on towards Double Lift there.
Securing some CS for Yellow Pete to try to get ahead in that lane. But regardless, Yellow Pete has actually gotten back to buy, has acquired an additional Doran's Blade as well as his Longsword and Vampiric Scepter. So at this point in time, he's going for that phage. He wants to get aggressive and win out in trades, like one-on-one with Graves, or 2-on-2 if you want to count the two support characters as well. But on top of this, you know, he's going to be able to get an immediate advantage if Blitzcrank lands on
he does land it
there.
He lands the hook onto Double Lift there. A lot of puts his ultimate down as well, and Double Lift having to be burst out, but he did manage to get a buckshot across, causing them problems, and they're just going to continue grinding him down. We'll have the hooker back available. Malphite, meanwhile, Maokai rather, has gone up towards the top lane, snuck in towards the bush against Hotshot GG. Here comes Jerry, puts the exhaust down on double lift, doesn't manage to land the hook. True Shot Barrage goes across as we look towards it. Doesn't manage to get on again though, and he had to use the exhaust. Loco Doka there just helping out, defending his AD carry, and that is going to force Loco Doka to go back. Meanwhile, at the top lane, they see Maokai diving on towards Hotshot GG, taunting, pulling him in towards that turret. Turret actually very low in that top lane as well.
Turret's probably going to go down with this next little wave push, if not the one following that. Bottom lane, double with a little bit of fancy footwork, was able to actually evade not only the Blitzcrank pull, but also get out of range of the knockup from Blitzcrank. Would have almost certainly secured a kill on the bottom lane. So double lift mechanics just really outclassing Yellow Pete and JB right now. And of course, JB not being able to land hooks from this, it's not necessarily going to be the best lane to have Blitzcrank in. And even if he can't run up and even just get that knockup down the double lift, there's going to be problems for Yellow Pete in the bottom lane. They finally forced him back though, so now Yellow Pete has a little bit of a grace period to get.
He's hooked again. He's hooked on towards double lift. Double lift this time very, very low. Has to cleanse it off there, and he's taken incredibly low, but he does manage to avoid the damage. The question is, can Yellow Pete push the lane? No, he can't, because the wave just came at the right time, and he backs away from the danger. Farm-wise in the top, 30 CS advantage for Wicked, though, continuing to drive that advantage.
Now that Yellow Pete has finally pushed double lift back, he is going to be able to generate a little more CS advantage for him. He has the item advantage. Double is going to equalize on that now that he's gone back to buy. Picking up a Vampiric Scepter is actually not as equalized as I thought it was going to be, but Yellow Pete's going to get himself that little extra oomph, get the extra farm, go back, pick up his Phage, and then continue to press this small advantage he has over the AD carry bottom lane.
So Wicked once again putting pressure on Hotshot GG. Mid lanes both returning, so Froggen versus Big Fat LP. Froggen with the blue buff at the moment, puts pressure down, puts the ultimate across on towards Big Fat LP, manages to pop the second ultimate, does get the charm down, but Big Fat LP did not really the burst there, and he does manage to escape it. But Froggen continuing, he really wants to get that kill on Big Fat LP, trying to send him packing, but unfortunately hasn't got the damage just yet.
Yeah, a little bit of a scare tactic there, but Froggen doing an excellent job with Ahri in this mid lane matchup. He fed away an early kill to his lane counterpart in Big Fat LP, and he just come back and really taken a CS advantage. He has the assist from the kill on Hotshot in top lane. He's really farming himself back into this game, has a current item advantage over Big Fat LP, has gone for the Sorcerer Shoes, but bottom lane there's a lot of trouble going down. Double Lift actually getting knocked up by Jayri, finally landing one of those pulls. Once again, going down under turret this time. Flash forward from Loco Doka with the crescendo. Jayri's not in tower range anymore though, and that is going to be a nice kill secure for CLG.eu.
Yeah, so chance to clearing out the Oracle with it. Clearing out the Oracle? Clearing out his ward with the Oracle, yeah. As it stands, though, I mean, the lanes themselves are definitely stacking in favor of CLG.eu this time around. So is it the blue advantage, or is it just the team advantage?
Maybe they shared the Season 2 Secrets document on the blue side, but it looks like actually Snoopy going to come around, winds up getting a Twisted Advance down on the Loco Doka. Loco Doka does get the stand unit from Hotshot, though. Orianna comes in with the command Shockwave, knocking away Snoopy, and Yellow Pete has to flash away through the tower. It's got a little bit of mini Nagro. Snoopy might actually wind up living through this one. Oh, no, he's going to find a wild Chalister, and Chalister's going to go down. In the meantime, though, Yellow Pete chasing down Loco Doka, and actually Snoopy is going to want to pick up the kill. I guess there's a sapling in that bush, taking it away from Ezreal on that one.
And Chauster was careful there, and well, Froggen stood on top of a ward, so they know he's going to possibly come in and try and pick up the blue, which is why they back it away. So they're going to stack on towards the middle turret instead, and they're going to see Yellow Pete is in there as well as Jayri. They're going to put a lot of damage down on towards this turret compared to just picking up the blue buff, and that's going to be CLG.eu taking the second turret of the game, and the middle turret is a very important one. Look at Froggen, though, just absolutely out-farming in that top lane. 129 CS to 84. He's got that BF sword now. He's going to do a lot of damage next fight.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that Wicked in top lane took down the turret at the exact same time. So now there's two towers all of a sudden down. They have the kill advantage. They have about 3,000 extra gold on their side. I mean, they're just continuing to push these early advantages. We saw them do this last game. CLG.na was able to kind of outlast them a little bit and were able to really come back into the game. But EU, they have a little bit more assassin-y comp. They have a standard AP and Ahri. They have a top lane bruiser with Wicked now running Riven in the top lane. They have the potential to pick people out with either Ahri or Blitzcrank, as well as the Twisted Advantage coming out from Maokai. They just have a little bit better team comp to deal with what they did to CLG last game.
Well, we are seeing a ping go down. They're going to try and catch on towards Loco Doco. Wicked's also closing in. Wicked flashes in there. Manages to catch the stun. Loco Doco has to use his exhaust to try and keep him away. He's in desperate trouble. If the twisted advance comes out from Snoopy, he is a dead man. Uses the crescendo, but just at the exact same time, Snoopy gets in there. Wicked picks up the kill. Now Chowster's in trouble. He uses unstoppable force, but he's going to have to flash out of that one. And, well, he didn't expect Yellow Pete to come in. And, well, CLG.eu just continue pushing their advantages. They're going to go for Dragon.
Yeah, and Loco Doco actually was saved a little bit by just the fog of war from that one. He ducked into a brush at the same time Snoopy twisted advance, so it canceled it the first time. Meanwhile, Hotshot GG is going to want to split push in this top lane, so they're going to trade tower for Dragon, but with the additional kill from the side of CLG.eu in the earlier
Froggen's there. Froggen's got the charm.
Where
on
Froggen
the turret.
come from?
Froggen pops in there, pops it down, tries to put the damage down. He puts the DFG down, but Big Fat LP comes in response. Shockwave goes on Froggen, and they are forced to back away. Defensive work from Big Fat LP.
Regardless of that, even though Froggen got bursted down extremely low, he saved that top tower. The rest of his team now going into the bottom lane. They're going to take down every single outer turret from CLG.na at the 16-minute mark, and that's going to put them in a defensive posture. Hotshot, once again, going to have trouble with the split push that he wants to do on Shen, and now that they have, like I said, a more normalized team composition, CLG.eu might be able to close the deal on this one.
And Big Fat LP now returns to that top lane. He is taking the top lane, and, well, Hotshot GG also stealing away the blue buff. So CLG.na trying to pick up a couple of advantages if this one. Their first turret will go down eventually, or is Big Fat LP? Yes, he will just get it. Has to tank the last hit. Takes it down, though. Meanwhile, down the bottom there, the hook comes out. They're going on towards Double Lift. Double Lift gets power fisted. He's in all sorts of trouble. Yellow Pete, Arcane shifts onto him. Stan United comes out from Hotshot GG. Turns around, collateral damage on towards Yellow Pete. Yellow Pete's going to get taunted up by Hotshot GG. He's trying to avoid the damage. He does get taunted. Double Lift has to get away, but they will take down Yellow Pete. The Ignite goes down. It's Loco Doco that picks up the kill. And that was a good return kill from Hotshot G, getting down there. Have to use that ulti, and it worked out for the good.
And CLG.na is going to have to look to try to do this a little bit more. Hotshot stole away the blue buff, went back into his own jungle, farmed up a little bit. He was away from Riven and away from Froggen. Well, speaking of away from Riven, he's actually going to run into her right here.
Yeah, Wicked comes down, finds Hotshot GG in the tri-bush and has to back away from that one. But he does try and save this turret. He's gone defensive. They should be able to keep it away. J-Ree gets back down there. He's going to clear it out. While that was all happening, Froggen and the Big Fat LP had a little bit of a poke back and forward on that top lane. But we are seeing Froggen getting some free farm in the top. So let's have a look down the lanes. How are these comparing? Because we're starting to move to the mid game. 153 to 104. Hotshot GG versus Wicked. That's a big difference.
It's a huge difference, but Hotshot itemizing a little bit differently. Not going for his and mine fan favorite Ionic Spark this game, going for that Sunfire case. He's going to be a bit more tanky than he's been in the previous matchups, and I think he's going to need that to combat just the pure damage output that CLG.eu is putting onto NA at this point in time. Riven going for the Bloodthirster. Hasn't even gotten boots 2 yet, but we're potentially going to see her getting a Guardian Angel and just continuing to stack pure amounts of damage against this CLG.na lineup, which is something that EU, that kind of had the double AD composition before, but they didn't have the added utility that Riven gives in. Her ultimate, of course, can be dealing massive damage depending on how much more her team outputs, in addition to the fact she has the mobility, she has a stun, and she has more presence in team fights than the standard AD carry.
And you can see the mid pair, the AP pair, and we see Loco Doco having to use his flash there, and he also used Crescendo. He might get caught out. He's actually moved away to try and avoid Wicked, and he's going to get caught out by Yellow Pete. It's Wicked that steals the kill at the end, though. Kill secure.
There's the ultimate, but meanwhile, top lane, Froggen got aggressive on Hotshot, burned the Deathfire grass. Look how low Hotshot got from one combination of Froggen spells. If he's going to be dealing tanky, he's going to have to look to get a little bit of magic resistance now. They don't have that double AD composition they had last time. Froggen's going to hurt.
Well, the fact that he stacked out the DFG as well on Ari, he's managed to get in there. Oh, Big Fat LP comes around there, puts the attack ball, doesn't go for distance. Froggen just backs away from that one. He's got J-Ree coming in support. They are invading the jungle here. They're going to try and steal the red away. And they do not get it because he's not there.
Oh, man. Well, he had 3 eyes on Blitzcrank, but still wasn't able to see that one with the Oracle's Elixir man. But regardless of the fact, they have the right mindset now. They want to keep CLG.na down. They're going to take away buffs, take away the enemy jungle, take away all they really can to make sure that they can't farm themselves to the point they did last game. They're already done a really good job in that top lane. Riven's been so aggressive on
J-Ree hooked it. J-Ree hooked the Blitzcrank away. They do manage to steal it away. Oh, the Shockwave comes out there from Big Fat LP, and he gets gets it back.
Well, now CLG.EU is going to have this open window of opportunity where they're not going to have the command shockwave available. Of course, with the cooldown reduction from the blue buff, it's going to be up in about less than a minute, but they want to make a move on something else. Dragon's down on the map. Baron, not potentially what they want to be going for, but if they want to put pressure on a lane, now's the time to do it because Orianna's not going to have that team fight ulti.
Well, Hotshot GG getting dived on by Wicked in this bottom lane. He was trying to keep him busy. Hotshot just can't find himself a free lane at the moment. He goes bottom, Wicked's there, goes top, Froggen's there. And they are just pushing all of the lanes in, and Doublelift meanwhile is picking up all the farm in the mid lane. How is it working this time? Because Doublelift again aggressively out farming Yellow Pete, and it's just something we regularly see. But that difference in farm, Hotshot GG now 127 to 184, and Last Whisper just being picked up by Wicked.
Yeah, Wicked's really outclassing both Doublelift and Hotshot GG in itemization as well as damage right now. Doublelift has a Bloodthirster. He's been able to farm up a lot of those stacks. But on the flip side, Riven's had hers for a while at this point. Now Wicked's acquired the Last Whisper. He's going to be dishing out a lot more pain. We saw Hotshot itemizing a bit more armor and HP this time around. Not going to work out when you have that shred. We already saw Chowster on Malphite already pick up an Aegis of the Legion for his team to try to survive in those team fight organizations they're trying to go through. But with that Last Whisper, basically the added bonus is going to be mitigated as well, and then some.
Well, I mean, at the moment, the control of the map is definitely in hands of CLG.EU. You can tell they're just quite happily free farming, pushing it. Wicked again down the bottom layer, closing in towards Hotshot. Hotshot with the Sunfire Cape. Is he going to be strong enough? Yes, he is. Gets that poke back down, and Hotshot forced to back away again. Meanwhile, also the difference in farm between the two AP carries, 30 CS difference in that top. You can see Froggen also got the needlessly large rod now, so his AP stacking starting to come in alongside that DFG. Definitely starting to completely out-farm them. But Hotshot GG, he's going to get stronger now. He's got that Sunfire Cape. Almost certainly the Ionic Spark may well come out after this one, but he needs a bit of magic resistance. What you mentioned, Wicked again dives on towards Hotshot. This time he forces him away again. And the free farm continues, but the Dragon this time being picked up by CLG.EU, and I don't think CLG.na can react to this one.
No, I don't think so. So EU is going to get a relatively free Dragon. Wicked continuing to apply the pressure on Hotshot, making sure he's not going to be able to farm himself to get those bigger items. He has a Cloth Armor in his inventory. I'm assuming he's going to want to try to get something along the lines of a Guardian Angel, if not a double Aegis of the Legion for his team.
Oh, they're diving top.
Oh, man.
Diving bottom, Hotshot's in trouble.
Not going to like this one. He's got everybody coming through, but a lot of missed spells, but, I mean, there's not much to say about that one. Hotshot just evaporated.
There's not a lot you can do when there's 5 members of a team coming on towards you. He are going to take the turret down, and they're just going to stroll away from that one. So Hotshot kind of caught out. Wicked goes aggressive, goes back on towards Big Fat LP. Big Fat LP in all sorts of trouble. Unstoppable Force came out from Chowster, but the rest of his team had backed away. Wicked does go down eventually to Big Fat LP. So I think the rest of the team weren't expecting that as well as us.
I mean, Wicked just kind of turned around, decided to go in. CLG.EU, when they wanted to react, all of a sudden were knocked up in the air by a Malphite ultimate. So that was just kind of better coordination on the side of CLG.na, reacting to what Wicked did better than his own team.
Absolutely dove in there. Well, Chowster's going to clear out. They're picking up that ward. Trinity Force now picked up by Yellow Pete. So starting to get those end game items. Meanwhile, against Doublelift. Doublelift out farming quite heavily on Yellow Pete here, and they mainly for the fact that he probably can't get himself a free lane because, well, Wicked and Froggen are taking everything.
That's very true. 210 CS on Wicked, 205 CS on Froggen, and unfortunately poor Yellow Pete at 156 farm. They wound up pushing out his lane entirely too, so he has nowhere to go from that bottom lane. He's really not going to be able to get super aggressive and farm that out because, well, at that point in time, it's just going to be all the members of CLG.na all of a sudden collapsing in on him. So he is in this kind of tight spot. He's taking the jungle farm, but in addition to this, Snoopé not really going to be able to finish that Shirelia's Reverie as of right now. He's 3-1-2 though. Already has an Aegis of the Legion of his own to try to combat the rest of what CLG.na is throwing at them. But still, I mean, you don't have a lot of farm your AD carry. You have, a couple items acquired by your jungler that the enemy team already has. There's a Shirelia's on Lokodoko, the Aegis being acquired by Chowster. It could potentially backfire on them. We're just going to see if Wicked and Froggen are strong enough to carry CLG.EU.
So Froggen picking up a Zonya's Hourglass as well. Are we going to see him going some crazy diving here? JB just popped his ultimate there.
Well, he popped his ultimate to go in with the Oracle's Elixir and went clearing out the ward, so he wasn't able
Baron.
to draw.
Didn't want to pull Baron, of course. Yeah, clever play there.
You take too much damage from that, and all of a sudden, well, we saw what happened last game with CLG.
So CLG.na taking the turret in the mid there, so that's going to be the second turret of the game for them, while Wicked continues pushing on that top lane. True Shot Barrage popped across to try and clear out their minion stack. The minions continuing on there. Jerry hasn't gone for any grabs there, but you can see the free farm and continuing aggression on from Wicked on that top lane. Has he put too much damage onto it? Not really. And was it worth losing out on that Minotaur? No, it was not. So possibly called out a position there, Wicked. And Wicked, well, he's backing off there. The rest of CLG.na were stacking on for it. The question is, can EU do anything about this one? J-Re's starting to push up there. Can he get a hook on anyone? They're going to turn around, and they're not going to go aggressive. They're going to continue farming for late game.
We're going to have to keep a quick eye on what Hotshot and Wicked do in this top lane. If both the remaining members of both CLG teams decide to engage in mid lane, Wicked could solo Hotshot at this point in time. He has the Sunfire Cave, not much else besides that. So Wicked, with the itemization, he has Last Wish for Bloodthirster. He could easily take Shen out. Once again, J-Re pulling the blue buff over the wall is going to secure that for Ahri this time around. But if it's EU right now, they have a bit more gold. They're about 5k in the gold advantage department. They have Froggen, who's very
Wicked
farmed.
top lane. Wicked top lane. He's going into a hot shot this time. Can he catch the stun on him? Yes, he does. Manages to force him away. Doesn't really. Yeah, he does have the damage. Look at that hot shot taking a quick burst there. And the rest of the team forced to do something here. How are they going to? They've got to deal with Froggen. Froggen's off the side farming. And CLG.na may try and take advantage of this and try and drive through the middle.
And Wicked against Shen in the top lane. Now that Shen's recalled, EU's going to be a little bit careful. Not knowing where Shen is on the map, they're not going to be able to stop that stand united. As I was talking about before, they have more farm on certain characters right now. Ahri's a lot stronger than Orianna, whereas Grey is a little bit stronger than Yellow Pete's Ezreal. They can get into a good 4v4 engagement, have Wicked in the top lane.
Double lift and Wicked engaging on the top lane. Double lift having to flash out there to avoid the damage from Wicked. Does manage to get on him, but wow, now he's going to continue chasing. They catch on towards Joust. The Jousts are in trouble. They're going to dive into him. That's going to be catching through. The shockwave was used. They haven't used the grab yet. In fact, they're not going to bother grabbing him before. They're just going to let him go. Froggen, meanwhile, on the bottom lane, he's diving up towards Hotshot GG. The ignite was not quite enough to finish him off. Now Froggen's in trouble. He gets the charm across. Big for LP, turns back around, puts a couple of glass balls across, and Froggen should avoid the damage. No, has the Zhonya's hourglass, but he is going to die coming out of this one straight away. And it's Loco Doko that picks up the kill. Mid turret, though, goes down to Snoopy. Yeah,
and we saw in that top lane, Wicked was able to solo double lift, he's able to solo Shen, even Froggen being able to solo Hotshot Shen at this point in time. So CLG.eu gets in that 4v4 spot. Shen can't use that stand united, they're going to wind up winning a team fight, but if they continue to split push, just like last game, they were so strong in the mid game, they had the team fight advantage, they just didn't do it, and they let CLG.na get some advantages like they could potentially now let them go for this Baron.
They are going towards the Baron. They realize that Yellow Pete's a long way off. They have got Wicked just around there. There's Maokai is a long way away. There's going to be True Shot Barrage. Is it going to be enough? No, it doesn't stop them. They can quite happily continue on this one. There's a lot of hit points already taken off. Stand United used. Here comes Hotshot GG. Gets a taunt on towards Wicked, just forcing him away. They're going to finish off the Baron here. I'm not too sure. Oh, they managed to hook out Double Lift. Double Lift getting caught out there, and Double Lift's going to get dropped. Is it enough, though? And that's going to be big for LP going down as well. Wicked gets a double kill. He goes on to Jouster. He gets the triple kill, and that's going to be surely the end of it for CLG.na. They're continuing on the Baron. They don't even get the Baron. Snoopy gets in there. Hotshot GG now going to get dropped down as well. Wow, CLG come out with the ace. And well, I was not expecting that.
That was a very strong Wicked. He was able to take out Sona in the meantime while they pulled away double lift. And then Hotshot GG put the ignite down on Baron. Maybe he forgot he didn't have smite anymore. I don't know, but still they secured the Baron. They wind up pushing down ace CLG.na in a spot where NA looked to be so far ahead, and now they're pushing into this mid lane. They're definitely going to get the inhibitor, could potentially add some Nexus turret damage, but NA is on the quick respawn. But regardless, they have that 4-minute pause button with Baron. They have the potential to go in and do a lot of more damage. Now Wicked still continuing to Rambo away on this top tower. He's going to get that one no problem though, and they're going to have a 7-2 tower advantage.
Has a huge gold advantage. 10,000 gold stacked in 28 minutes, which is going to give them a huge advantage across the board. Let's have a look at that gold advantage across the board. We're going to see another 1,000 gold. Look at that on Wicked. 3,400 gold on Wicked. Oh, and that's double lift getting absolutely decimated in the top there. Wicked picks up another kill. That's going to stack into about 4k gold now. He can just go and buy a big fat item right away. What's he going to spend his gold on?
Maybe
Guardian Angel straight away?
Maybe he's going to buy that illuminated building that you know about.
The illuminated building outside in Dallas. Maybe he could do that. Last Whisper by Yellow Pete being picked up. Zeke's Herald also by J-Reed, so helping out in that support. Froggen's going to back off as well. Massive stacks of gold across the board for CLG.eu. They could buy any, and it is a GA. It is a GA for Wicked. So he picks that up. Flat out GA as well, and the Giant's Belt.
So he's going to be going for a Frozen Mallet on top of everything else. He already has the Last Wish and the Bloodthirster for damage, and clearly it's enough to solo almost the entire team of CLG. CLG.na in the Baron pit, so he's going to be going for a little bit more survivability. Guardian Angel means that he's going to live twice. Giant's Belt means he has a lot more HP and the effective HP from all the resistances he just garnered. Wicked 6-1-3. He's looking very unstoppable, and CLG.na, double lift is fairly farmed. He has a Bloodthirster and a Phantom Dancer. He's getting those stacks back up. Orianna itemized a little bit more for utility. Now going to acquire the Rabadon's Death Cap. Not a lot of damage coming out from Hotshot GG Shed in this game. No Ionic Spark means no little extra oomph and magic damage either. So they've been a little bit more tanky. And
Hotshot caught out, but he uses Stand United to get away from it this time. He was nearly a dead man by Frog in there.
Almost, and that's just the pure damage output that EU has over NA. Most of the time, you see it flip side. You see EU going for tankiness and going for a late game kind of strategy. Now they've flipped on the aggression, turned into a lot more damage, gotten to the point where they're super farmed up, and now it's going to be very difficult for NA to stop their advance.
Well, Double Lift had just recalled he was caught down that bottom lane. He has to react to this one, but honestly, I think he might be a little bit too late. Are they going to catch a charm? They do. Hotshot GG taking down half his hit points, shredded off there straight away. The hook came in a little bit late there. Could have caught the hook, charmed up Hotshot, surely. But instead, Hotshot has to back away to the turret. That means they're going to be a 4-on-5 on this turret. Wicked gets in there, and look at the damage chunking down already on this inhibitor. That's going to be Chowster going in. Shockwave was used. Crescendo goes across. Chowster's getting dropped here. He couldn't withstand the tankiness of it. True Shot Barrage pops across the whole team. Wicked's now diving on. The turret is going to get taken down. Loco Doco gets dropped. Hotshot GG in all sorts of trouble. Froggen, meanwhile, is off the side there dealing with Big Fat LP. Yeah, well, that is surely going to be it now. Super Minions coming in the middle. It's going to be CLG.EU taking game 2. It's going to be 1-1 all square between CLG and CLG. And CLG are going to win.
I mean, I don't know. My bet is still on CLG after the great performance that CLG put on this CLG versus CLG matchup. But in that last